Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm gonna do my October book haul part 1. So I bought a lot at the library book sale that I went to on Saturday on so that would be like the 5th of October. So I went a little crazy. I mean, my dad went just as crazy, so it wasn't just me. But I brought home more books than I have from that sale. And I think I was just starting to throw things by a certain point, which is when we started to when we were going to leave. So I filled my bag, which again was just a big, I take a big, and I'm allowed to fill it. I'm not allowed to carry anything else because it was hard enough carrying all these books in there. So I came out with 25 books. I still don't know how I did that, but I did. Anyway, so so I'm going to show you 24 of them. The 25th book, though, I'll just tell you it first. I gave to my mom because she wanted to read it first because I saw it and I thought, well, I want to read it, but I go, maybe she hasn't read it yet. And that was The Obsession by Nora Roberts. So I don't know a whole lot about it except that it has something to do with a daughter sees her dad do something in the woods, and then I think something happens to him where he gets caught doing whatever the bad thing was, and then it's years later and something's happening again with whatever happened. I don't know. But my mom has the book. She's going to read it first. So I'll get it at some point. I'm not quite so concerned. So what books I have here, though, are I've kind of put them in groups. I got a lot of nonfiction. I think I was already thinking about nonfiction in November, even though I have tons of stuff on my shelf already. So I got a lot of nonfiction. I got quite a few classics. And then I got a couple of other things. So I'm just going to go through these. I'll go through the other things first because they're mostly literary and then a couple of fantasy, I think. So the first one is technically kind of a classic, but it's more modern classic, and that is A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. I've never had to read this for school, and I never picked it up ever, but I kept hearing people talk about it, and I just feel like I should try to attempt to read it at some point, so I got a copy of it. I also got The Tiger's Wife by Tia Obrecht? I don't know. She just has a new book coming out, Inland. So I was hearing about this book, and I had seen this over the years and just never got around to it. And all I know about this one is, I mean, I guess I'm not going to explain these too much because I don't actually know because I just picked them up at a library book sale. But I know that this one is, there's some kind of mystery. And this doctor's trying to find out his grandfather's life, and then there's some story about the Jungle Book and something. I don't know, but I hear it's really good. I hear it was well done. Anyway, but I picked that up. I also picked up The Things They Carry by Tim O'Brien. I believe this is like a good Vietnam fiction. I've not read a lot on Vietnam, so this is about some these men who are it's an unparalleled Vietnam testament. So it says it's a classic for that, so I'm gonna pick that up at some point. And this one, I don't remember why I picked it up. Last Orders by Graham Swift. So I know, I think it has to do with 4 men, and I thought they were sitting around and talking about stuff, and I don't remember why. But I'd heard about this book, so again, it was one of those things where I picked up a copy just because I'd heard about it. So and heard his name before, because I know that there's another book by him that a lot of people like, Mothering, I think. But this is the one clearly he won the Booker with it, so I should maybe pick that up at some point. I don't know. I also picked up Arcadia by Ian Pears. I've been meaning to pick up The Instance of a Finger Post for years. I finally found that book on my dad's shelf. He had stolen it from me. So I haven't read that yet, and it's huge. And I don't know anything about this one, except I think this has it's like another world thing where somebody, the guy's writing a fantasy novel, and then I swear something happens. I don't remember, but I know other people have really enjoyed this, and I've always wanted a copy of it. I really actually like this version of it. I like the one with the door picture as well, but I don't know. Again, an author I've bought before but not read. And then I picked up this book, and I don't know if this is, I guessed it's the first in a series because it says A Curious Beginning, but I'm not positive. It's a Veronica Speedwell mystery. It's by Dana Rayborn, and I've never read anything by her. I hear she has quite a few books out. But this one has to do in London, 1887, and Veronica, I think her aunt passes away, and now she's free to travel and do stuff, and so, but she's almost kidnapped, and she's saved by somebody, and then it's, I think it has, I don't know what it has to do with it. It just sounded fun, and looked kind of adventurous and kind of mystery, and I don't know. Has anybody read her? I don't even know. I just picked it up because it looked interesting, and it drew me in. I don't even know. I don't know. I assumed it was adult too. I don't know. I'm guessing because it's Berkeley. I don't know. You guys have let me know. I've never read that. Okay, so now I'll go through the classics, like the older stuff. So I did pick up this little teeny, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I realized I had read Dorian Gray many, many years ago, but I did not own a copy of Dorian Gray. So I found one of these little classic ones, and I thought, and it said it was complete and unabridged, and it's small and short, and it's just cute. Just, you know, it's not the greatest looking, like there's no cool end pages or anything like some of the other ones, but it was just, it was cheap. It was $1. Okay, I picked it up for that. I picked up an Emile Zola? I don't know. This is Therese Requin. Is that how you say that? I'm not sure if this is in that series. I haven't started reading any of his books, so you guys will have to tell me. But this one sounded interesting because it was a novel of grim tale. Okay, sorry. A grim tale of adultery, murder, and revenge in a nightmarish setting. That's all I really needed to know. Anyway, so I don't know in what order I should read these. As I said, I have the first book, The Fortune of That One Family. I don't know. Anyway, but I don't know. I haven't even picked up any of his books. I bought now 2 of them, of course. I picked up Henry James, and I don't know why I did this one. I still haven't. I've read a couple of Henry James short stories, because again, Turn of the Screw and a couple others that I had to read for class. I have never finished The Portrait of a Lady, which is on my oldest TBR, like books that I should read. But for some reason I picked up another book of his, Wings of the Dove, because I've heard good things about this one too. I don't know anything about it, but I don't know. You start throwing things in your bag, you're not even caring. And then I picked up a Trollope, which I told myself I was not going to, except that I believe that this is a standalone. He knew he was right. And I think I saw this on, probably at Katie, at Books and Things, but I have more Trollope than I will probably ever read, it feels like at this point. I just need to get some headway on some of this stuff. But anyway, so I think that this is a standalone, and I don't know, I think he's like someone's super jealous or something. I don't know. I think he on the back it sounds like he imagines that his wife is unfaithful, but I don't know if it turns out he's right. I don't know. But I don't know. I keep buying Trollops. I need to stop. I did buy the second volume of In Search of Lost Time by Marcel Proust. This is Within a Budding Grove. I had the first one on my shelf I bought last spring at a book sale, and it was like a little hardback. So this is actually, it's the same modern library, but it's a hardback one. But well, I don't care enough. Anyway, so I should really try these. I should not keep buying them. But I saw it and I thought I'll just get it. Again, just throwing it in my bag. I also got Tess of the D'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy. This is actually the one I'm the least excited to try of his, and I have not tried any of his books. I now own like 5 of them. I need to read some. But I saw this copy and I thought, well, at some point I'm going to read this. This is the only Thomas Hardy that I read partial of it in college. We didn't have to read the whole novel. It was one of the introductory literary courses, and you only had to read a section of it. And I think I like the writing. This storyline is not my favorite, like of what I think is going to happen or what, I've heard about it. But I still think it's one I should read like just to finish it out. Because again, I've done that a lot with a lot of the partials that I read in college. I've tried to go back and actually finish the whole book, like Moby Dick, which nearly killed me. But Tessa Dernals is not one of my favorite ideas of a it's kind of how I feel about Wuthering Heights, except Wuthering Heights at least I've tried to read more. Anyway, but I bought this because I do want to try it and I'd give it a shot, and it wasn't that expensive. And then I have 2 Dickens. I got this little squat little version of Martin Chuzzlewit, and I'm not sure when I'm going to get to this. Because again, I am trying to just get through one of them right now. But I don't know anything about this one. It's just one of the Dickens novels, so I want to get that. And then I also got Nicholas Nickleby, which again is another one that I don't know a whole bunch about, but I've heard other people really rave and enjoy these. So, and as I said, I'm trying to read more Dickens, get back into him, because I feel like the part, you know, what I have read, I really enjoy, and I just need to dive in. So I got more. So now I probably have like half of his works on my shelf unread. So I need to work on that. Okay, so now I'm going to go through the nonfiction, which is, there's quite a bit of it. So I got The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks by Rebecca Skloot. I've heard a whole lot about this. I've not watched the show on it or anything, but I still, this is again nonfiction of a woman's, her cells were taken and have been used. Cells have been used for research and for other many companies, and they've never, the families did not get any financial benefit out of it. And so it'll be very interesting to read. I just want to I've heard so much about it that I just feel like I should read it. I picked up a weird one, and I think I really picked this up just because it was a Penguin classic. So I'm not sure why I did, but anyway. But it's Gregory of Tours, and it's the history of the Franks. And this is like telling the history of France after Rome falls, around the 540 or whatever. So I don't know. It says it's 10 books of his work, and it's like talking about the bishop, and I don't know. It's just talking about life and you know, all the royalty in that time. I don't know anything about this. It was just a beautiful edition. And I picked it up. I don't know. I also found The Time Traveler's Guide to Elizabethan England by Ian Mortimer. I had this on my wish list for Book Depository for quite a while. And I think it's, you know, kind of like a tour guide talking about, it has, each chapter is like a certain topic, like the landscape, the people, religion, character, basic essentials, what to wear, traveling, where to stay, what to eat and drink, hygiene, illness and medicine, law and disorder, and entertainment. And so I just think it'll be kind of fascinating to read more about that time. I know that there's a Victorian one as well, but I only found this one. But I think it'll be a fun read. I also got, let's see here, The Bookseller of Kabul. This is written by the same author who did One of Us, which was the book I read last year, but Asne Sirastad? Can't remember how to say her name. But anyway, so she's a journalist, and she's talking about a portrait of a man who, I think for 3 decades, had this bookshop in Afghanistan. So it just sounds like it shows a picture of life there, I think, through this bookseller and the people and the women, what they have to deal with. So I don't know, it sounded interesting. But again, I found her writing very good. Again, I think this one's translated, actually. Translated by Ingrid Kristofferson. So anyway, sounded interesting. I also picked up The Six, The Lives of the Mitford Sisters by Laura Thompson. I've been very interested about them just recently. Just people over the last year have been talking about them in certain things. And again, I picked up a book that has like 3 novels of Nancy Mitford in it, and then I do want a book by Jessica Mitford. But again, I really want to hear some history on this family, just because the sisters all go in such different directions, and they were the 1930s Europe. So it just sounds like interesting to see maybe where their privilege took them, and what all their different directions. And again, I think one or two of them were Nazis or related or connected with them in some ways, and then again 2 were authors of some sort, and I don't remember that the other ones did. But it sounds interesting. Anyway, I also got part of the biography on Teddy Roosevelt. This is the 3rd book, Colonel Roosevelt, which I think is after. I can't remember if this is after his presidential. I have the Theodore Rex, which is the middle book. I still have to find the first book so I can start it, The Rise of Roosevelt. But I'm hoping to get that soon, and then I can start reading these. Again, I'm trying to do the presidential biographies. I was trying to do them in order, but it's like I feel like I might have to mix it up, only because I just I don't know if I can do it, in order. Although the next one I really do want to pick up is John Adams. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm still buying those. I found The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion, and I've been wanting to pick up one of her books, either this one or was it Bluets, that has to do with her family. And I think this is I can't remember if this is the year after her husband passes away, I believe. I'm not sure. That's it. It's more of one about, I think, grief and stuff, but I'm not sure. Again, just heard about it. I also picked up Ulysses S. Grant's personal memoirs, and I think I saw something about this on Steve Donahue's channel, which is probably why I picked it up. But I would find it interesting once I get to the biography on Grant to actually read some of his memoirs. I don't know if I'll ever read this whole thing, but I would at least like to read some of these, because they're personal memoir, has, at least, to read his take on stuff that happened maybe in the Civil War. And then I found a book that I just put on my TBR, or not my TBR, on my wish list, and that was Romantic Outlaws, The Extraordinary Lives of Mary Wollstonecraft and Mary Shelley by Charlotte Gordon. And so this one I actually had to pay $3, which is the highest I paid for all these books. I still don't know why. I thought this book, well, maybe it's because it just came out, but I looked at the date on here, and it's like 2015. So I don't know why this book was the most expensive of the books I got at the book sale, and why it was priced differently. Because no other of the biographies or anything, or history that I picked up, or even classics, nothing was priced differently. But this one was. I don't know why. Anyway, so this has to deal with Mary Wollstonecraft and then her daughter Mary Shelley, and their oh, I'm dying here. About their lives. And I just thought it sounded like it'd be a really great biography about both of them, and how what they did and stuff. I really want to, I've read Mary Shelley. I still have a couple things I want to read of hers, but I want to pick up the books by Mary Wollstonecraft. I have it on my wish list, of course, and I want to read some of her stuff too that she's written. Anyway, I don't know. It just sounded fascinating about both of them. And I really wanted that book, and it was just there. Still don't know why it was the most expensive book I bought, but it was. And then I bought one hardback, and that was Victoria the Queen by Juliet Bard, an intimate biography of the woman who ruled an empire. Yeah, this is about Queen Victoria. And I couldn't, leave it there in Victober. I just couldn't. Now, I would much rather have a paperback. But this is also a book I kind of was thinking about getting on audio anyway, but now I have the book, so I don't know. We'll see what I do. I've not read any biographies on Victoria, and I heard this was a good one. I don't know if it's the best one, but at least it's a good one. I've heard several other booktubers talk about, so. Anyway, so that's some of the books I bought so far this month. Again, as I said, I have another book sale, smaller, but it's this coming week. And then I have one book I've ordered online for Victober that I want to read that's really short. Couldn't help it. Anyway, but I'm hoping, there's only a few books, there's a book or two I have that are on pre-order. But beyond that, I really am going to try not to buy any more books. So hopefully I'll have a really, really, really small part 2. But here's part 1. And I think I got a lot of great books. The problem is, again, I have a lot of books that I want to read. Now I want to read all these. I just don't have enough time. Because I have to work and sleep. Bummer. Anyway, so if there's any of these that you think that I need to pick up sooner rather than later, let me know. Are any of these books that you're interested in reading now? That'd be kind of interesting to know. And anyway, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.